Good morning, my viewers. Today we'll be talking about setting up and solving linear equations. And this is your regular host, Valentine. So this is our lesson aim. Understand how to solve problems involving linear equations. Our lesson objective is by the end of the session, learners will be able to work out solutions involving linear equations. As usual, this is our target, and I encourage my viewers to have a look at this target page. Now, as mentioned earlier, we'll be looking at how to set up and solve linear equations. As a refresher, we'll have to refresh our minds to see how to encourage to solve linear equations. If you could remember, we talked about algebra. So what we'll be looking at is like an extension of algebraic manipulation. So to in order to deepen the knowledge of solving algebra equations. So let's quickly refresh our mind to see if we can still remember what we talked on algebra. As mentioned earlier, this is like an extension of the introduction of algebra we talked about some days ago. Now let's start. Let's look at this 5 minus d plus 3d minus 4. You can see in this situation we need to collect our like terms. So let's start with this minus d plus 3d. If you could remember what I've said in my earlier sessions, in maths, there's always an invisible one here, but we don't like putting that. So this becomes minus 1d plus 3d. As usual, we need, for those still struggling on their negative numbers, if you like, you can represent this on a number line. So let's see this 1, 2, 3. If you go this way, that will be positive, and you go this way, that will be negative. So this should be minus 1, minus 2. But the question says minus 1d plus 3d. So this is minus 1. Since it's plus, we'll be going to my right side 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. So minus 1d plus 3d is 2d. Then 5 minus 4 is plus 1. So you either write it this way or 1 plus 2d. They are all correct. 1 plus 2d is correct. 2d plus 1 is correct. Better still, another way, the smart way to write this, you say this is minus 1d plus 3d. A smart way to solve this, you can rewrite this. This becomes, you just rewrite this. So you can bring this down here. This becomes 3d minus 1d. Your answer becomes 2d. In summary, you either write this in a smart way, you still get 2D, or you use your number line. You either write it this way, the smart way, or you use your number line. I will encourage the use of the number line for some learners or viewers that still struggle with their negative number and algebraic manipulation. Or if you know you are grounded, you can write this whichever way you prefer, as long as you get the right answer. So in summary, our answer is 2D plus 1 or 1D plus 2D. They are all correct. Then we look at the next one. This is y times 2 times 5y. So if you multiply all this becomes 2y times 5y. So that will be 10y squared. 10y squared. Then we look at this. This is d. So this becomes d plus d plus d. So this 3d plus c squared. So let me try another difficult question. So let's look at this one. So let's look at this. We need to expand this. So you will expand this by saying 2 times x, that's 2x, 2x, then 2 times plus 4. Remember, I've stated this earlier. In solving questions like this, you need to take cognizance of the sign in front of it. Please be careful when solving algebraic questions because you need to be conscious of the sign in front of it. So this becomes 2 times plus 8. No, sorry, that's 2 times plus 4. That becomes plus 8. Then this, you can rewrite this. So this is minus 3x plus 5. As usual, so this becomes 2x minus 3x, 2x minus 3x, 2x minus 3x. That becomes minus x 8 plus 5. That's plus 13. You either write your answer like this or this way. They are all correct. 13 minus x. This is correct or this. They are both correct. So I will leave the other questions for my learners or viewers to please have a go. Try this, and once you've tried this, you can now move on to the answer slide to cross-check your answer. Remember, you do this honestly. You can see the questions we tried. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. And this is correct. So I don't want us to waste more time on this. I will encourage my viewers or learners to read this, practice this, digest it, and meditate on it too. Same with this. Now let's have a go at this question here. Remember, the more you move on, the more questions are getting tougher. So let's quickly try. We look at some simple questions and some a little bit tough questions because of time. So let's look at this. What do we add to 4 to give us 15? So remember, this is why, as stated in the previous sessions, I know definitely some of us can really guess this, but I always encourage to show working out. I always encourage to show the step. That's why I call this a quick step-by-step guide. So this becomes 4 plus y equal to 15. So we need to find the value of y. So y is equal to 15. And if 4 crosses the equality sign, it changes. If plus 4, remember, there's an invisible positive sign here. So if it crosses the equality sign, it changes. So minus 4. This is y equal to 15 minus 4 is 11. So our missing number here is 11. So this is 11. Same with this, you can call here y. So this becomes 16 minus y is equal to 9. So this is, we are trying to find the value of y. So let's say minus y equal to 9. There's an invisible sign here. If it crosses the equality sign, it changes. Minus 16. So this is minus y equal to minus 7. So if you divide both sides by negative number, so this negative will cancel out this. So your final answer becomes y is equal to 7. So the value of your y is 7. I know some comments or some viewers will say, why go through this route? Just know that we need to subtract a particular number from 16 to give us 9, which will be 7. Yes, that's good. But I'm looking at a situation whereby we find ourselves in, um, there's every possibility that questions like this will come out, and and if you are asked to show your working out, I'll encourage you to show it. But because I'm trying to say, there's every possibility that question like this may come out and you are asked to show your working out. So you can follow the step. And if not, you can be that lucky, you won't be asked. You can just figure out the questions. But as a teacher and a trained one at that, I will encourage my learners to show the step-by-step working out. Who knows, your steps may help you at the end of the day. And as I've stated earlier, that 1 mark is as important as 10 marks. I've seen where 1 mark can be devastating. So let's move on. Okay, let's look at question 4. So question 4 is this. That becomes x plus 6 equal to 18. So in this case, we need to find the value of x. So our x is equal to 18. This is a positive 6. If it crosses the equality sign, the positive sign changes to negatives. That will be minus 6. Now x is equal to 18 minus 6 will be 12. So our x is 12, meaning 12 plus 6 will give us 18. So let's look at another 11b, another question 11b. I'll stop at this question and I'll encourage my learners to have a go at the remaining questions. So let's look at this. This becomes, so what this is trying to tell us is 36 divided by a particular number will give us 9. So we need to find the number. So this is 36y equal to 9 over 1. I know question, why is it 9 over 1 when we have 9 here? As stated again, whenever you see a number stand on its own, all this number or alphabet that stands on its own, in maths, we always assume they are over 1 because any number over 1 or any alphabet over 1 is still that number or alphabet. So this, we assume this is over 1 because 8 divided by 1 will still give us 8. 12 divided by 1 will still give us 12. H divided by 1 is still H. Please take note of that. So in this case, once we have this, we can now cross multiply. We cross multiply like this will times this will times this. So 9 times y or y times 9 will give us 9y equal to 36 times 1 will give us 36. Questions. Why is it possible to cross multiply? So the reason why we can cross multiply is because of the equality sign here. With this equality sign, we can cross multiply easily. So cross multiplying will give us this, and at the end of the day, we want to find the value of y. To do that, we need to divide both sides by 9. So if you divide this by 9, and divide here 2 by 9. So at the end of the day, we are left with y equal to 36 divided by 9. That should be 4. So the value of our y is 4. So imagine you put 4 here. So this is trying to tell us that 36 divided by 4 is equal to 9, which is correct. I love maths. With maths, once you've gotten your answer, you can always cross-check if you are doing the right thing. It's not enough solving and walking away. Take some minutes, pause, and cross-check. Once you can cross-check, fine. And you see that you are once you can cross-check, that will go a long way in helping too. So always cross-check your answers if it is correct. So because of time, I will leave my learners to attempt question 2, question 3, question 5, question 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 11A and 11C. Once you've tried this, then you can move on to the answer slide to cross-check your answer. Remember, do this honestly so as to help deepen your knowledge. So this is another form of linear equation, equations with brackets. And this has to and this is talking about expansion, expanding the bracket. So let's move on. I will encourage my learners as usual to look at this, practice this. Same with this case. So let's look at this on expanding the bracket. So we've looked at this in the previous slide. So which one do I look at? Yeah, this expanding the brackets. So let's look at this. Yeah, let's look at this. So that becomes 5 times x. So that should be 5x, then 5 times minus 6. So that will be minus 30 equal 65. 5x minus 30 is equal to 65. Reason, we used 5 to multiply everything in the bracket here. 5 times x will give us 5x. 5 times minus 6 will give us minus 30. Please be conscious of the negative sign or positive sign in front of each number or alphabet. Please be conscious of the sign in front of anything you are working with. So in this case, this will be 5x equal to 65 minus 30 crosses the equality sign, it changes to plus 30. So this is 5x equal to 95. So we want to find the value of x. We want to find the value of x. To find the value of x, you divide both sides by 5. You divide here by 5. So yeah, left with x is equal to 95 divided by 5. This is same as 19. 95 divided by 5 will give you 19. So you can always cross-check if you are doing the right thing. You can replace your x with 19. So this will become 19 minus 6 is the same thing as 13. So now it's 13. So what this simply means is 13, 5 or 13 divided, 13 times 5 or 5 times 13 will give us 65. So let me show that multiplication. Let me show it here. So this is 13 times 5. 5 times 3, 15. 5, carry 1. 5 times 1, 5. Plus 1, 6. So you have 65. 5 times 13 will give us 65. So your answer is correct. X is equal to 19. So I'll stop here. Encourage my learners to have a go at other questions. Then move on to the answer slide to cross-check. Yeah, this is, definition of expressions, equations, and formula. I've been opportune to invigilate exams where such all this has been given. and you are told to identify expressions, if each um, if each is either as an expression or an equation or a formula. So please, I will encourage you to be able to identify the difference. You can see this is a formula, while this is an equation, and this is an expression. Reason: an equation will always have an equality sign here. You can see, and you say this is an equation. This equation only has one letter in it. You can solve an equation to find the value of the letter. And also, you can see this equality sign is there. This is an expression, reason. It does not have an equality sign. You can see it does not have an equality sign. The parts which are separated by plus or negative signs are called terms. So what they are trying to say is all these are terms. These are terms. These are terms. So this is an expression. This is an equation, and this is a formula. So this is a formula for the area of a triangle. Half base times height. This is the formula of the area of a triangle. So this is a formula. You can use it to calculate one value. If you know the other values, you can't solve a formula, which is correct. So you need to know some values in order to find the area. So remember, this is the formula for an area of a triangle. So let's move on. As usual, this has to do with substitution of values. So I encourage our learners to have a go, read this and understand this while we move on to class exercises. Same as these are examples. I want to encourage my learners to please look at this, understand this, practice this. Now let's move on to solve some exercises. So let's look at this. Let's start with some simple ones. Then as we go on, we'll look at other questions. So let's look at this. You've been given this value. What this simply means is f is equal to 7, g is equal to 5. Work out the value of 3g plus 3f plus 2g. What they are trying to tell us is for all these alphabets, replace them with the values given here. So this is 3L plus 2G, 3F plus 2G. Three F plus 2G, so 3, our F is 7, replace it by 7. So remember, I'm using the bracket sign as multiplication sign. It's not a must that you must use a bracket, but remember, this means times. What this is trying to tell us is multiply 3 by 7, so 3 times 7. But me, I prefer using the bracket sign. Please use whatever you are comfortable with as long as your answer is correct. 2, G is 5, so replace by 5. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 times 5 is 10. So 21 plus 10 will give us 31. 21 plus 10 is 31. Let's see, is there any difficult one that has negative sign? That should be okay. Let's look at Anyone that will have negative sign. Okay, let's try question 10. So question 10 says Q is equal to, let's Q is equal to 6p minus R. So work out the value of Q. So your Q is equal to 6p. We're told that our P is negative 4, bracket close, minus our R is 5. So this is 6 times negative 4. So that will be minus 24 and minus 5. So minus 24 minus 5, or negative 24, negative 5. So that will be minus 21. As mentioned earlier, you can always use your number line to look at this. Remember, once you get to negative 24, you will be moving to the left hand side 5 times. You are moving towards this direction on the negative side. Remember, this is your negative side. This is negative 1. Here should be 0. So if you move, so for the sake of time, so let's imagine this is 24. Remember, minus 1, minus 2, you list it up to minus 24. This should be minus 5, 25, minus 26. I'm doing this for the sake of my viewers or learners that are struggling with negative number. You can always use this if time permits, but you need to master this very well. So this negative 25 minus 4, sorry, this negative 24 minus 5. Remember, you are moving towards this direction. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 24 minus 5 will give us minus 29. So, as usual, I will encourage my learners or viewers to have a go at the other questions. Then you move to the answer slide to cross check. Remember, do this honestly. So, this is formula. This is what we call a formula. So, remember, as I said, this is a formula of a triangle, which is this, that's finding the area of a triangle. So what they're trying to say in essence is, to solve something like this, there are some values you need to be aware of. Question, please. In exam situation, the height, you can see the height has been given inside the triangle. Please, to most times, the height also can be given outside. Please, I want my learners to be conscious of that. It's not all about seeing it this way. They might want to confuse you and decide to put it outside. Please take notes, because this is what I observe. Please, if you find yourself in an exam situation, let's take for instance, say the height here is 6 meters. There's every possibility that they might want to write it outside there. So if the height is given outside or inside, they are the same. Please take note of that. So let's move on. Same as this. This is easily understandable. So I will encourage my learners to have a go at this. Let's look at those questions from question 15. So I'm trying to look at a tougher questions and which will be like a model questions to other questions. Okay, so let's have a go at question 15. Let's have a go at question 15. So let's say this is x is equal to this. Work out the value of x when y is 5. So our x is equal to 4 when y is 5. So replace y with 5 and brackets raised to power 2 minus 12. In this case, this becomes 5 raised to the power 2 is the same thing as 25 minus 12. So 4 times 25 will give us 100. 100 minus 12 will be 88. So let's look at formula question again. So let's look at this. So let's draw this. Let's draw this one. So this is A is equal to 1 over 2 bracket open A plus B bracket close H. This is a formula of an area of a trapezium. Yeah, we'll talk about shapes, so you get to meet this again. Remember, this is a formula for the area of a trapezium. So in order to do this, let's look at this. So our A is equal to, just replace the values, be given all the values here. This is half. Our A is 7 plus the value of our B is 6 times the height, which is 10. To do this, you can do this. So this means 7 plus 6, which is 13. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 times 10 is 130. So which is 130. Then you have it. The half of 130. The half of 130 is 65. So I encourage my learners, have a go at all this. If you have any issues or concern, please reach me at my comment section. I'll be able to do justice to your questions. Remember, in law, once you are silent, I will presume or assume all is well. But please, if you struggle with any of these questions, reach me at the comment section. I'll be more than glad to help. So once you've done the questions, once you've attempted them, please come back here to cross-check. This is what we got, which is correct, and this is what we solved correct. Please have a go at the rest then. You come here to cross-check your answers. So this is form of rearranging formulas. I will encourage my learners to read this page while we move on to practice questions. Same with this. So let's look at this. Making an alphabet the subject of the formula. Making an alphabet the subject of the formula. So let's have a go. As usual, let's have a go at this. So in this case, this is A is equal to this, and you're asked to make this the subject of the formula. So what this simply means is right is such that this will stand on its own, then all other terms will be kept at the other side of the equality sign. So to do this, make D the subject of the formula. I will always encourage to write this. So this becomes D plus 5 is equal to E. D plus 5 is equal to E. At the end of the day, our D is equal to E. Once plus 5 crosses the equality sign, it changes to negative sign. So that's minus 5. So answer is D is equal to E minus 5. So let me check this again. Question number 2. Let's look at question number 2. Question number 2. Say make T, rearrange T equal to 3 over 2 to make W the subject. Make W the subject. So in this case, you can make it T over 1 equal to W over 2. Question: why are we writing over 1? Why making T over 1? As mentioned earlier, once you have a number or alphabet that stands on its own, we always assume it's over 1. So this makes the work a lot easier. At this juncture, you cross multiply. So our W is equal to 2T. W is 2T. And let's have one more. Okay, let's look at this. As usual, this is 1 over 1. So you read the question, make W the subject of the formula. You cross multiply. Your W will be AS or SA. It doesn't matter. The answer is the same. AS. So as usual, I will encourage my learners to have a go at the other questions so as to deepen your knowledge and understanding of rearranging or making a particular alphabet the subject of the formula. Have a go and move on to the answer slide to cross-check your answer. Oh, so fast. We've come to the end of the session. I will encourage my learners, please do have a go. Cross-check your answers in the answer slide and do that honestly. Once you've done that, ask questions, any concerns, you can raise it to the in the comment section. I'll see it and be able to do justice to any questions asked relating to maths. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is your regular host, Valentine, and see you in the other sessions. Thank you very much.